Hi, I'm author Bailey Thomas, and if you're a reader, writer, reviewer, content creator, or part of the book community, you're in the right place. If you're none of these, you're still in the right place, because this YouTube channel is for everyone. I'm just trying to make the world a better place, one book, story, or a YouTube video at a time. So whether you're here to learn how to write a book, celebrate books, or just to have fun, I'm glad you're here. Hi, welcome back to my channel. We are doing the 7 steps to self-publishing, the actual 7 steps I use to self-publish my books. And we are on step 1 today. So if you want to follow along and help supplement these videos, you can check out my website. It's in the description. And there's a free 7-step checklist, and there's also a paid guide. They're both the same steps, just the paid one's just a little more in depth. But go check out my website, come back, pause the video right here so you can go do that. So you can follow along. We're doing step 1 today. So let's dive into that. Step 1 is position your book like a pro. This is the pre-work, the before the writing, before we open our laptop or pen and paper and get our story down. This is the first thing I do. This could kind of be like a step 0. But for us today, 7 steps for self-publishing. Step 1, position your book like a pro. So the first thing we want to do is define our reader. Who are we writing for? Who is going to pick up our book? Who do we want to pick up our book? That's the first thing we should be thinking about. When I write a book, I try to think like, what age group am I targeting? Maybe what position in life are they in? What emotional hook would attract them? These are the things that come in mind when I'm writing, even chapter headings, titles, when I think about the cover, when I think about what genre I really want to put my book in. The first thing I want to do is think about who my reader is. Who is this book for? So to kind of have fun with this idea, we're going to play a little game. We are going to do a little this or that moment. We're going to have a randomly generated reader, a little reader bio, and we're going to pick this or that based off the reader bio so that we can really think about who we're writing for. So our reader is a 21-year-old. Romance is her comfort genre, and she's fresh out of a breakup. So let's do this or that with our 21-year-old fresh out of a breakup that likes romance. So our first one is third act breakup or happy ever after ending. Well, considering our reader just got out of a breakup, I think we would want to target this more towards a happy ending. So I know this feels kind of silly, but it's just some things to think about when you're going through your writing process of what tropes and what things in your book that you want to include based on your reader. So the next one is miscommunication or an external conflict. Are the characters internally having a struggle, or is there an external conflict? I'm just going to assume based on our reader that she probably would rather have an external conflict. I know miscommunication tropes can be tricky, especially if she's just coming out of a breakup. Maybe there's a miscommunication there, but we can't sue every reader. But I'm going to go with external conflict on this one for our reader. Next one. Is the end open-ended, or is there a clear, the couple ends up together? We're going to go clear ending, that the couple ends up together. I'm sure our reader would want a happy ending considering their relationship status right now. But we never know. We're just thinking about our reader. We're just going through mental task checklists of who our reader is and what might tailor to them. Next, does the couple need time apart, or do they choose each other? Definitely going to go choose each other on this one. No brainer on that one. And then the last one, do we want a bittersweet, realistic ending, or do we kind of want a fairy tale ending? We're just going to go with fairy tale ending. Maybe our reader's out of a heartbreak and wants to feel something good, but hey, you never know. Sometimes we just want people to relate to what we're going through. But this is just a fun exercise that you can do on your own when you're thinking about who you want to write for and what person might want to pick up your book. Maybe just go through some tropes in your head and think, what would my reader want? Okay, we've defined our reader, we know who we're reading for, but now what does this reader expect? So next, under positioning our book like a pro, we need to study our genre. When our desired reader picks up the book, what do they expect? What do they expect to feel? what they expect to feel inside. So one thing I recommend is kind of studying the genre that you want to be in. Are you a romance book, but your cover has mathematical equations on it? Are you a thriller, but your cover has pink roses on it? These are just things to think about when your reader picks up your book. What do you want them to feel? What are they expecting to feel when they pick up your book? So one thing I would just look at authors already in your genre that are successful and kind of see what covers they're doing. What type of text are they doing? What type of images are they doing? What placements are they doing? What are their titles like? Just kind of taking a moment and looking through what's already working. Not necessarily so you can copy them, but just so you can see what has been done successfully so far in the genre that you want to write about. So again, we always have to have fun when you do these. So another little game, we're going to do guess that genre. We're going to put up a book cover. Hopefully you haven't read the book before, but we're going to put up a book cover and we're going to try to judge the book based on the cover and see if you can get the right genre based on the cover. So this is the first book. I'm definitely going to go with this is a self-help book just based on the cover, words, the let them theory. It sounds very self-help. And let's check the answer. Motivational leadership self-improvement book. So yeah, I think that cover perfectly shows what it's for. And as a reader, got it right. Next one, The Last Letter. I feel like it's like tension, but I still feel like there's a romantic element to it. I don't know why, but I'm gonna go with like that even is a genre, romantic tension. Okay, let's see what it is. Oh, military romance. I guess I should have looked at the dog tag a little better, but I, maybe we could put a green check for that one, half point on that one. All right, next one. Oh, this has to be a children's book. If this is not a children's book, imagine this was like a horror book. Like as a reader, my expectation would be shattered. But yes, checking the answers, definitely a children's friendship book. I think the cover nailed that one. Okay, this one. I'm gonna go historical romance. I don't know. We're just gonna go historical romance. Let's see. Oh, Southern fiction. Friendship fiction. Okay, won't give myself a point on that one. Maybe if I really dove into it more, I'm just not really well versed on Southern fiction. Okay, and then the last one, yeah, this one's definitely gonna be a thriller. I think the author captures this pretty well with like the eyeball and the peephole, and it is a suspense thriller, psychological thriller. Look at that. So again, this is a little fun exercise. If I'm a reader going through your book, would I guess the genre right? So just some things to think about when you're designing your cover and studying your genre. So we're still on step one. We're still positioning our book like a pro. We've defined our reader so we know who we're reading for. We studied our genre so we know those readers' expectations. And now we're going to hone in on the heart of our book. What is our purpose? What is our main message? Why are we writing this story? I usually like to put my messages in the dedication. I don't know, kind of just the purpose of the book. I just kind of like to put it up front, even though you will be able to tell what the message is by the end of the book. I also like to put it in the title too, just so the reader kind of knows what they're expecting. But you can do whatever creative style that you want. Just more internally, why are you writing this book? What is the purpose that you are trying to accomplish by publishing this book? So again, we have to have a little game here to make sure that it sticks with us. So we're going to play If My Book Were a. This is just going to help you kind of think about your book maybe in a different, more fun way, kind of pushing your thoughts outside the boundary a little bit. So just to give you guys some context as we play along, I like to write about relationships and like the lessons that you learn from them and like the deeper meanings within them. So keeping that in mind, we're going to play the game. If my book were a clothing item, I said it would be a hoodie, like a hoodie that you take from someone because it's like comforting and there's a lot of memories in it. So I kind of really like to write about books that are relatable. Maybe you've been there before. So that's kind of why I thought a hoodie would be a good metaphor for that. If my book were a store, I said it'd be Target because maybe we didn't plan it, but it was definitely worth it. Like some things in my book are like, oh my gosh, I wasn't expecting that, but I like it. We're here for it. We like it. And then lastly, I said if my book were a dessert, I said it'd be brownies because they're warm and a little messy. So that's my book, but you can definitely play along with your book. It just kind of pushes you to think about your book in a different context and really hone in on the heart of your story, which is the purpose. So again, as we position our book like a pro, a step one in the 7 steps of the self-publishing, we want to define our reader so we know who we're writing for. We want to study our genre so we know those readers' expectations, and we want to hone in on the heart of our book, and that's kind of like our why. So that is step one. So I hope you guys got all those things. If you played the game along, go ahead, comment below. Let me know what was interesting about your book. I'd be happy to read about it. I'm excited for you guys. We've got a lot more steps to go, but thank you for being with me for step one. I'll keep making more videos for the rest of them, but again, if you want to jump ahead and look at the other 6 steps, the guides are on my website. The free one and the paid one, both are the same 7 steps. Just the paid one just has a little more tips and other activities, where the free one's kind of high level. But thank you guys again for joining me. I do have a PO box in my description if you want to send me your favorite book, or if you're also an author, self-publishing. I will try to, in future videos, try to shout out and share some of your books so that we can spread the love in the book community. And also, I have my books also linked on my website in my description if you want to check those out too. I greatly appreciate it. Every order truly means a lot to me. So as always, thank you for being here. If you like the channel, go ahead, like, comment, subscribe. Happy reading, and I'll see you next time.